Hey everyone, this is Daniel. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to our second video in the Ad Fontes series, looking at Scrum Guide 2020. And last video we talked about how Scrum is a lightweight framework, and today we're going to continue with this sentence but focus on this last phrase, complex problems. So let's read the sentence again. Scrum is a lightweight framework that helps people, teams, and organizations generate value through adaptive solutions for complex problems. So let's talk about complex problems real quick, and we are going to use what's called the cynefin framework, okay? I used to not be able to say this word. Did not realize it was cynefin. I called it cynefin, and it's not cyanide either, but it's cynefin. And so basically, all joking aside, what the cynefin framework is it gives us a way of thinking about our work by breaking it up into different domains that it could live in. And that helps us know how to act when we know which domain we are in. So the few domains that the cynefin framework teaches us, one is the simple domain. And in the simple domain, everything is obvious, right? The inputs and outputs are known, okay? Things are pretty simple. They're pretty obvious, right? Think of like washing a car, okay? You know how to wash a car, I hope, and you know what the inputs are. You give a dirty car a sponge, some soap, a hose, some water, and some sunshine to help dry it off, and voila, you have a clean car after some elbow grease through that work. So that is the simple domain. Fairly obvious, fairly easy. Inputs and outputs are known. Think also like an Amazon order, right? You order it, they put it in a box, they bring it to your house, and that's a repeatable thing, right? So it's easily repeatable as well. So the next domain, we're going in increasing complexity, is the complicated domain, right? And in the complicated domain, more is still known than unknown, but we need some experts, right? It's not immediately obvious, but through some critical thinking, some sensing, some analyzing, we can come up with a good solution. There may be a few good solutions, but we can come up with a good solution. And so think about something like fixing a car, right? You need an expert for fixing a car, right? Maybe you don't, but most people do. They need an expert. And then another thing is building a house, right? In order to build a house, you need a plumber, you need an electrician, you need all these different contractors to help you build a house. So that is the complicated domain, all right? And I'm going to skip up here and move to the chaotic domain. And in this, things are chaotic, right? We need to act immediately. We don't have time to think, because think about like in a war. We're in a war zone. We need to act immediately. Things are going crazy. Bullets and shrapnel are going all over the place. And so we need to act, and then we can sense our surroundings only after we act, and maybe we get to a more stable place where we can kind of analyze our surroundings. Think also like an ER, right? You need to be very quick on your feet and act immediately, and things can be really chaotic. This final domain is the complex domain, and this is where Scrum really thrives, okay, in the complex domain. And here, more is unknown, okay? And an example is customers don't always know what they want. Another example is, hey, we think our work might take this long, but it actually takes 3 times as longer than we anticipated, right? That's the world of complex work. We're not just laying bricks anymore, but knowledge work is more complex. And so with that, we need to what they say is probe. We need to run an experiment and then learn from that. We need to learn and then we can adapt. So Scrum really helps teams manage complexity through all of its feedback loops. Scrum helps bring transparency so that teams can inspect their work and then adapt it. And those are the three pillars of empiricism, and which is what Scrum is built on. So Scrum helps teams with the complex domain by helping them learn so that this unknown reduces and hopefully gets smaller and smaller, so that teams can learn and then they can inspect their learnings and then they can adapt so that they can better solve their problems and better deliver value to their customers, which will lead to happier customers, happier workers, and greater revenue if you are a business as well. Finally, one other aspect of this framework is that there is disorder in the middle. And all that means is if you don't know which domain you are in disorder and you need to get out of there immediately. So you know, do you need to act immediately? Do you need to focus on learning? Or do you need to go to an expert, right? And of course there's experts in every domain, but specifically in the complicated domain is where we really need to engage with experts. So all disorder means is get to understand which domain you are in as quickly as possible. So that's the cynefin framework. It helps us understand which domain of work we are in, and specifically with Scrum, it helps people, teams, and organizations deal with complexity, not eliminate it, but maybe hopefully reduce it and specifically manage it through helping bring transparency so that teams can inspect and adapt what they're doing. So hope that helps, and looking forward to the next video with you guys. Thanks. Bye.